I'm at 2690 Vienna Estates Drive in Dayton, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that would be concerning to the buyer. Now, trying to get the stuff set up here. Now, the access point here is an outside clean out in the front. Basically, if you pull up the driveway, almost right underneath the center of the big window in the front of the house, and it is behind the bushes, but in front of the wall here. You can see there's the wall. Here is the beginning of the bushes. There is the driveway. There we go. So there's the driveway. If you look basically straight down, you'll find it. There's a little bit of a restriction on the access here because for some reason what they did was they put what they call a sweep on these lines. When you go into the clean out, it forces you to only be able to go downstream or out towards the main, which in most cases the issues are on the exterior, but it just prevents you from inspecting the line on the interior of the unit or the home, which is a little frustrating that they don't give you those accesses. The only way to do that would be to pull a toilet or go in through by removing a fixture, which obviously you're not going to do that in these instances because you don't own the home yet. Like I said, most issues originate on the exterior, but it would be nice to be able to inspect the interior line. So if they would put nowadays they put what they call a two-way clean out on there, so you can go both directions and go upstream back into the house. Okay, so on the interior they use a white PVC, and on the interior, or on the exterior like this, it's green. It's two different rating systems essentially. The green stuff is SDR 35 is a ratio that they use for pipe thickness to show how thick the pipe walls are. And on the interior it is a white PVC, and that is called Schedule 40. You have an access here, a clean out, but that is buried also, and we shouldn't need any access to that. But then we have something coming in from the left. I believe this is a shared tap past this point, which means the unit to the left must be coming over, or in this case, if you're facing, it would be the unit to the right is coming over and tying in, and then probably as this is going across the street, or they have brought the other unit out, or the other like the laundry and kitchen out the other side and brought it straight out. But we'll run some water and we'll check that out. It's most likely the neighboring unit to the right if you were facing the home from the street. And then they cross the street and the sewer main is on the other side of the street. So they just brought them over, tied them together before they went across the road, so they didn't have to have individual laterals going across the road. Now in this case it would mean that it would be shared responsibility past that point, either with the neighbor or municipality. But so far the line is looking really good. The line getting a little bit of haze on the front lens of the camera, but that's just due to the stuff that's in there, so we should be able to get down and dip into the main, which is right here. But what we're going to do here, we're out 100 feet and we have reached the main. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run some water in one or a few fixtures and see how we're going to run some water in the laundry, and that way we can tell where that's tied in. And so I'm going to pause the video so I can get access to that. Okay. So we are running some cold water in the stationary tub. Looks like the line, it did clear up the camera a little bit just from sitting, so maybe some of the water that was going through there was hot water. But the line looked really good all the way out. I didn't see any major issues. Didn't see any issues. The major is obviously not. I'm trying to make sure. I may have to do that a lot to keep the lens clear. Sometimes you get a little bit of grease or something on the camera lens, and it makes it foggy. So I did run the water in the stationary tub, which will be the laundry, and so if it does come out and tie in separate, we'll be able to see that. But it may come out there and tie in, or it is coming from behind this clean out all the way through the unit. But all this looks really good. It's what you expect, and it's what you want to see out of a line like this. So maybe the neighbor is using their water too, because it looks like water's coming in from over there, but that is definitely not the laundry. That's all coming over through this clean out, so that most likely is a shared line with the unit to the right if you're facing it. So it's good to know. But no issues or anything. There's a clean out there right on top of it. But so we are pulling back out now, and the line looked great. I didn't see anything of any concern. We did find out that the unit to the right, if you were facing the home, is tied in out by the curb before it crosses under the road, and so in case anything ever comes up, you know that it is shared basically from the curb where it crosses the street. It is shared with the neighbor to the right. But there are no issues found. Everything looked great. It's open and flowing. And so that's going to end the inspection at 2690 Vienna Estates Drive in Dayton, Ohio.